Hi, is everyone here? I don't know if anyone can see me. We are going to have an amazing conversation today, and we are going to do some. Oops, we're going to do some cold readings, and I'm praying this works. Are you guys here? Oh, yay, you're here. Can you guys hear me? Hi, hi. Okay, I'm going to set us up. So, we're going to have just such a good talk because we have so many things to talk about. Can you hear me? Okay. I hope you guys can see me and hear me and all that jazz. Will you let me know? Because this is the part that I struggle with the most. Yeah, you can hear me. Kansas is here. Sounds perfect. Okay. Oh my gosh. Just 1 second. How's everyone doing? It's a big day. And I don't know if you guys have been watching my video where I talk about the worst days and the best days. Um, oh gosh, my computer's freaking out. Oh, what's going on? Okay, here we go. Can you still hear me? Okay, I don't know if you guys have seen my video where first of all, I can't even believe I'm here because the technology is so challenging for me. Um, you see me, okay, you hear me. Aloha, hi from Norway. Oh, hi, Silji. I love having you all here. But in my video, in last Sunday's video, what I did was I did predictions based on the moon tracking the moon. And I kind of want you guys to do this. And you can do it by using a small ephemeris, just tracking where the moon is. And this is like the easiest book to get. It's daily planetary guide, and it shows you every day where the moon is. Oh, thank you. You guys are so sweet. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, but I don't, so what I've been doing now, ever since I ran into my ex-boyfriend on the day that I said, you're going to run into an old love probably today. And I freaked myself out because I haven't seen this person in 10 years. And I mean, honestly, if I wasn't paying attention, I could have ran him over. Yeah. So I freaked my own self out. So now I am starting to watch. So what I did was in that video, I did basically predictions for how the energy was going to go for every single day of June. So I think I'm going to do this for July as well, just using the moon tracker. And by the way, you can get the moon tracker report for your own chart in my shop, and it's just the ephemeris of how the moon is traveling through the signs. And you can also get your 365-day transits forecast. It's really huge and thick report. Anyways, this morning I went and I looked at what did I say about June 8th? By the way, you guys, I made that video in May. So, I mean, I had no idea. I was just reading the charts based on the moon. And today I literally wrote on June 8th, hi, um, that it will be a very difficult day. You guys should watch it. Not right now, but go back and watch what I said. And it's all time stamped in the description. Watch what I had predicted for today. And we can look at the chart together because I'm on Zoom, so I can share screen what's going on. But I literally write, it's one of the worst days, one of the hardest days on June 8th. Yep, it's June 8th. And you might be intolerant of the criticalness of your neighborhood or community. Have you guys seen what's going on in Los Angeles? Have you seen it? Oh my God. I could not believe I wrote this. And I'll tell you why. And it's because we've got these changing planets and they are at the 29th degree in the 11th house of community. And we have giant squares from the moon to Mars today, and also the moon to Pluto. And we have war in the streets with tear gas and, this stupid militia. And what's interesting is the National Guard doesn't even want to turn on its own citizens. It's so stupid. Anyways, I just wanted to tell you that it is shocking when you really can start to learn how to work with the chart. You guys can start making easy predictions just using the moon. And the moon is in Scorpio today. It's in Scorpio. Please give a link for the 365-day reading. Okay, I can't do it right now. And I don't think I have Lydia in here. But all you have to do is go to Shop Soul Navigation and click on Astrology Charts and Reports. And then you just scroll through and you'll see 365 report and you can get it there. Angel Jess Tarot, channeled messages and tarot. I was criticized today here on YouTube for my channel. I was so hurt by it. Yeah. And I'll just tell you that, Angel Jess, I've been through that. I've been doing this now for 25 years. And you have to be brave to work in the healing metaphysical arts. You have to be brave to be different. You have to be brave. This is brave work. Um, okay, Mama Chavi family says, oh my God, June 8 yesterday here in New Zealand, and it was a bad day for me. Well, to tell you the truth, Mama Chivi family, is you're going to have to move the date one date. So it's right now, whatever time zone you're in. I'm just doing Pacific time. I just live in like California, West Coast, Pacific time. So you have to translate the time, not just go with the date. So if you're in New Zealand or Australia, I'm talking about June 8th, it's probably June 9th for you. And Angel Jess, I want to tell you that's just giving you, she said she was criticized on her channel. Um, that's just forcing you to dig deeper and to just own yourself. Do you know what I mean? You're just going to own yourself. Aw, Gay Royale just said, Angel Just Tarot, I just subscribed to your channel. Yeah, give her some love. That's very sweet. Not fearing anything is a key to happiness and a full life. It's true. There's an art of detachment, and I wish I had more of it. I really admire. So I had three friends over yesterday afternoon when I was doing absolutely nothing with my friends. We had so much fun. And they all have huge Aquarius in their chart. One is Aquarius rising, one is an Aquarius, and one has an Aquarius moon. And I am so jealous at how they can just be like, oh, and detach. And I'm so attached. So I get it. And I have to really channel that energy. Angel Jess says, oh my God, I'm crying, you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Angel Jess, I'm going to subscribe too. Yeah. And I want to say that in this community, I have found so much love and so much support. It is so rare that I get somebody that's a troll or not real or a bot or even mean. I do sometimes get a mean. Sometimes I make a mistake because I am a Sagittarius and I think faster than I can speak sometimes. And I sometimes say Jupiter when I meant Mercury. And I'm just hoping you guys know I meant that or whatever, just foot and mouth syndrome, too big, too much, all that jazz. And um, sometimes I make a mistake. And so people, people who are not loving or kind, they just are so mean, right, about mistakes. But it's very, very, very rare. Your membership videos are amazing. This community is amazing. Yes, it is. I'm an Aquarius moon and I find it hard to detach. We'll have to see what that's doing in your chart, my sweet Rosie Marie. And I want to also tell you guys, look at all these members. Thank you so much. I couldn't even be doing this work on YouTube if I didn't have the members. I just wouldn't be able to pull away from doing my actual readings. By the way, I do have availability for this summer in June and July for readings if you want one. Shane, I put my foot in my mouth too. I know. We're sisters like that. Weekend at Carrie's, this community is amazing and you help make it amazing. So many of these beautiful people came to my workshop in Seattle, and I'm still on cloud nine from my workshop. I just had the best time ever. I'm getting so excited for Nice. We sold a few more tickets, but I have a couple more left. If you want to come learn with me in person, it's going to be a small group. You do not need to know very much astrology for my Nice workshop because we're going to go deep into the ascendant. You just have to know what your rising sign is. And we're going to go deep into the rulers of all 12 houses in your chart. Now, do you guys know that your rulers of each house really matter? And so I'm going to teach you how to see that, but you don't need to know a lot of astrology. We're just going to go deep into some simple concepts. And that's in Nice. And that is August 28th, 29th, 30, 31. We're going to have happy hour on the beach. It's going to be so beautiful. It's not going to be very many people. So we're just going to sit at a round table and work with your charts. It's going to be really magical and special, intimate. And I hope you guys will come. I have a few seats left, and I want them to go to great people who really want to learn astrology. And there's room for you in this community to become a professional astrologer. You just have to work with a teacher that really resonates with your heart and maybe the way in which you think. And so if you have that resonance with me, I would love for you to learn with me. Angel Jess Tarot channeled messages and Tarot. She's cute. She says, oh my God, Meredith, I literally mentioned your channel in my video that I posted on the Gemini new moon. I spoke about how you taught me power moon days and told people I love your channel. So I'm in shock. It's so cute. Everybody's subscribing to Angel Jess Tarot. Nice with Meredith would be such a dream. I'd love to have you there. It will be a dream. It is actually going to be a dream. It is so beautiful. And there's this town next to Nice called Ez, and it means like eagle's nest or something. And it is like the most beautiful French village etched into, it's literally like carved into the mountainside. And it's an ancient, it's ancient actually. It's not just old, it's ancient. I think this town was there for, I don't know how long, since the 1400s or something. But it just absolutely catapults you to another time. And it's so beautiful. So we're going to go see these places. I would love to become a professional astrologer. Well, you're here doing it. You're doing it. And you guys, I'm opening up my Athena Academy of Astrology at the end of this year so you can study with me in a practical course curriculum. We're going to start with a foundations course. We're going to move into a methods course, and we'll go step by step very slowly, and we'll do it on Zoom, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. My sister told me she would pay for my ticket in the Airbnb this morning. What? How can I say no? Oh God, Britt, it would be a dream to have you there. Oh, she just came to Seattle and lit the place up. It was so fun. Um, you absolutely have to go. Absolutely. It would be so fun to have you there. Um, okay, so let's talk about this. Let's get into this a little bit because we've got a lot of people here. I want to tell you guys what's happening. Okay. So first, oh, good. Yes, I want you guys to study in the astrology official school, but I'll tell you that it won't have the soul transformation. I'm just being honest with you because you you can't experience that except for the love in the room with the people at the workshop. So the transformation, and anybody, I see so many of you who I love and adore and I want to hug and give you a big fat kiss, have been to the workshop and retreats. The in-person work is where the soul literally transforms. But in my school, of course, it will be more like this. Somebody once told me at the workshop, like, wow, you are exactly who you are in your YouTube, on your YouTube channel in person. Everybody always comments, you're so much taller than I thought, because I am fairly tall, but that's always the surprise. Like, you're so tall. But the next surprise Chris told me this in Florida, Chris in Jupiter, Florida. I don't know if she's here, but she was like, you're much more like restrained on YouTube than you are in real life. In real life, you just are you keep you in the can't keep you in the box. Like, it's just my energy is just way bigger. So I am trying to stay in the screen on here for you guys. I am a little more zipped up on YouTube than in person. I think it's true. Right, you guys? Yeah. They're all like, yes. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do this for you guys. Oh my God. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. I've got to get my chart for you. Um, okay, so let me share my screen with you. Hold on. And then you guys tell me if you can see it. Okay, here it is. I'm hoping you can see it. I have to look over here though to see your comments. Oh, you guys are sweet. My palace rising is very happy with your name. The Leontine is my Marie Callas from Berlin. Yes, Britt, can your sister take all of us? Take all of us to Nice. What a gift. Is that for your birthday or just because you're a magical fairy? Okay, you can see the chart. Hi, Roxanne. You guys are so cute. Oh, Doretha, you're so funny. Your hand movements tell me that you're an exciting person and full of sass. I think my husband would say I'm full of sass. Okay, you guys, please look at this astro clock with me. Okay, this is Seattle, Washington, but if you're in New Zealand and you're watching this right now at this minute at 9 o'clock in the morning, and we're now at reset to current time, now we're at this. So we've got Leo rising. You guys can see everything, right? We've got Leo rising, but I just want to show you. I want to show you. This is what's going on in Los Angeles, California. And if you don't know, open up YouTube after this live and just do Los Angeles, California. I think personally, I think it's absolutely utterly disgusting and inhumane. And there's something called due process where every person deserves to be heard. Their case deserves to be seen in a court of law. And we don't just round up people, stuff them in vans, break their ankles, and send them to ICE detention centers. I think that is just absolutely criminal, cruel, disgusting. And I don't think that the what is it called? The National Guard men even want to do this work. And it's grotesque. But you can see it in the chart. I mean, I can't imagine anybody liking this. I don't know anybody, not even people who thought they wanted want it this way. Nobody does. This is disgusting. It's repugnant to me. It's criminal. It's just so cruel. Anyways, I'll quit talking about that. And I'm just going to show it to you in the chart for a minute. So now, okay. So now look at this. We have a Scorpio moon and it is square to Mars in the first house. The first house is like right in front of your face. It's how you see the world, right? So it's in the first house of the body, and the moon is square to Mars. And that's what I talk about in that video that I just did last week, but I filmed it in May about June 8th. I talk about how you might be disillusioned with your community. Look at the 11th house. Look at you guys. And this is what I'm talking about with the 29th degree. And I have found that since I have been talking about it for the last 2 years, more people are really paying attention to the 29th degree. It is for real. It is for real. When a planet is on the 29th degree, there is crisis. So where is there crisis? In the 11th house, which is community. That's community. And the mind is what? It's in crisis with Gemini. So what's the shadow side of Gemini? The trickster. I can't see the truth. I can't see what's going on. And literally they can't see what's going on because there's too much tear gas. And what are they called? Like the things that bang really loud and the sparks. So they literally can't see. It's also the trickster. So you don't know what is real, what is true, who's the good guy, who's the bad guy. You can't see anything. And the belief system is haywire. What to believe? What do I believe? So the information to believe and to communicate is at the 29th degree in crisis. So yeah, that's crisis. Is anybody in LA? Can you guys see this? Rosie Marie, I'm so glad you brought this up. It goes beyond ice. I'm sickened. I know, it's just disgusting. Well, and if you have a 29 degree placement like Rebecca Joe, it doesn't mean that your whole life is in crisis, but it does mean that you probably will grow yourself out of challenge. But when you get it in a transit, it brings in crisis. And this is loud crisis. This is very loud. And look at this. These planets are changing, and Venus just changed. And then we're also going to have, and you guys can feel the uncomfortableness when a planet changes, just with what Pluto changing signs has brought in. I just wanted to see what you guys are saying. Thank God I left LA 3 weeks ago. Well, to tell you the truth, if I was in LA, I would be one of those people out there in the street, like blocking the cop car, whatever, or like helping people. I'd probably get in trouble. So we'll see where that gets me. But my husband's like, please don't go do that. And I'm like, no, you're coming with me. And he's like, I don't know if I'm coming with you. I have to go to work in the morning. I'm like, I have to work too. But I'm like at a point where it's so awful. I don't care. Okay, let's talk about this. So Venus moved into Taurus, which is kind of cool, and on the 6th of June. Okay, so let me just show you something. When Venus was back here, at the 29th degree on June 5th, think about if this 29-degree Aries does something in your chart that would bring in a crisis on June 5th. Now, why does Venus not like being in Aries? I know you guys know this, but just tell me, why does Venus not like being in Aries? It's very uncomfortable. Um, yeah, you guys are all on it. So Venus doesn't like being in Aries because Aries is getting to live with Venus in Taurus. And I love that it's in the 10th house. So this is about bringing in more peace, beauty, harmony, love into your life, into your work, wherever you have those early degrees of Taurus. Venus in its beautiful exaltation, it's actually called it's in its own domicile, in its own sign, is trying to bring you a lush harmony, a peacefulness. It's trying to broker better deals for you. It's trying to attract abundance and money. It's trying to grow your self-worth, your self-esteem, your self love. Yes, Jamie Luca, good job. Aries brings masculine tendencies. Venus is in detriment in Aries. Yes, I knew you guys knew that. And this right here is very interesting. So Mercury today is going to switch. So it's in just a couple hours, Mercury is going to switch into Cancer. And we're going to like that in a way. But what's going to happen is now you watch the world shift a little bit. So right around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I want you guys, I want you guys to pay attention to the world and to your world around 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 o'clock Eastern time, United States. And then you guys are going to have to figure that out for London and for Europe and for New Zealand and Australia. But what's going to happen when Mercury leaves its own domicile? Mercury likes being in Gemini, but not at the 29th degree. What's going to happen is our thought process is now going to be a feeling process. So now we're going to feel our thoughts. And that kind of scares me in one way because it's going to be like an intuitive, emotional thought process. And so, why are we getting emotional? Well, maybe bad things are happening. Now, people are all a little bit nervous because they have a 29-degree sun or they have a 29-degree Mercury or whatever. When it's in your own chart, you will find that you will grow your very best parts by being challenged. It doesn't mean you're going to die or it's going to be god awful for your whole life. It means that you find your milestones through probably nobody giving you $1 billion. You know, you probably are self-made. You probably have a value system that either can confront people or can express yourself well through challenges and find your greatest tendencies through challenges. So that's all that means. But when it's by transit, it's affecting the entire world at one time. And so you can see the collective crisis very easily on that last degree. But let's say the sun is at 29 degrees and it's in a trine to the moon at 29 degrees. Is that awful? No, probably not awful, but because it's a trine, but it probably will bring up a crisis that wants to be overcome. Like it could even be something as silly as your tree died and you need to go get a new one and replant a new one in your house, your tree that you were attached to, your beautiful shade tree or something. just some sort of crisis. But it can also, if it's in trine, if the 29th degree is in trine, it can bring a crisis that is more simple to face. But look at this. This is not in trine. This is not going to be in trine. This is a quincunx. So it's odd. It's awkward. Plus, this moon is very unhappy with Pluto, and it's also very unhappy with Leo. So when it gets to Sagittarius, it's going to be a full moon. So it's still not going to be happy for quite a few days. So you guys should watch my video where I said the worst and the best days doing the moon tracker. Just wake up and watch. What did she say about today, and see if it comes true for you. Oh, thank you. This is fascinating to see the global accuracy of Meredith's predictions. I I really appreciate that, because I I kind of can't believe what's going on. And I also told you that June 14th and 15th are really, really god awful days. And I am going to be a part of making that god awful day a better day. I will. Um, so what about Jupiter at the 29th degree? Jupiter is moving um into Cancer on the 9th. So that's tomorrow. So today we've got Mercury moving, and then tomorrow late we're going to have Jupiter move into Cancer. So what's going to happen, you guys? What's going to happen when Jupiter moves into Cancer? Let's see what time. It's going to be later. Look at it right here. So we might have 2959. That's the last breath of Gemini. And that's at 1 o'clock in the afternoon Pacific time. So tomorrow at 1 o'clock Pacific time, well, let's say Jupiter moves so slow. So at 3 o'clock Pacific time, 6 o'clock in East Coast time, United States, 6 p.m. at night, let's see the shift. Now people are compassionate, empathetic, emotional, maybe hysterical. You are going to see the belief system moves into Cancerian subjects. What's a Cancerian subject? What is the biggest Cancerian subject you can think of? I want to give you guys a minute to say it. Big emotions, big feelings, big emotions. Um, that's Father's Day. It is Father's Day. It is Father's Day. And what do you think is going to happen on Father's Day? Happy families with their fathers? I hope so. My family's going to have that. But I think we're going to move into the subject matter. Yep. Fashun just said it. Yep. You guys are saying it. Family, mothering, home, mom, family, home, love, and family. We are caring. We are emotional, home, security, empathy, nurturing, family, home, nurturing, heritage. Oh my God, I can cry right now. You guys are going to make me cry. That's where the belief system is moving and shifting into. We're not about Gemini things, which is kind of like taking in the news or taking in information or communicating or learning about, learning. We are now really focused on being nurtured, nurturing others, empathy, heritage, family, being at home. What is family? The importance of family. And I think with this, we are going to see difficult things happen to families. And who in the world likes that? I don't know any humans that like that. You know, I can't stand watching these wars in the Middle East and in Ukraine and now LA. Um, it hurts my heart. I can't stand it. And families being ripped apart. I mean, I think that would be my personal hell. I don't even know if I would want to live through that. Truthfully, don't know if I would want to live through that. Like that, it's just so cruel. So this is going to come into focus, and look at, we're going to communicate about it. So you watch starting tomorrow at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, all of a sudden, and I want you to know, remember, transits and aspects happen a few days before, a few days after. So if it happens, if it happens not exactly at 3 o'clock, it doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means the energy is showing up this way. You watch the whole focus, and look at that Venus, look at that Venus, look at the Venus, look at the Venus. It's right there. It's right there in a sextile to Mercury and Jupiter. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to make you a prediction. And then we have a self-righteous, thank God, a self-righteous Sagittarius moon. People are not going to stand for this. They're not. And they're going to be so emotional. You guys just watch. You watch. It's going to happen. Um, yeah, Alia. It's like empathy, nurturing, and love. And what does she say? It's my Saturn return. And I'm a Jupiter in Cancer. Strange time to have Jupiter in Cancer. Okay, well, for you personally, you're going to focus on the same things, but I just want to tell you that Jupiter is also a planet of the collective, right? So our belief systems collectively are changing. But what's happening for us individually is we are moving into really investing into our families in a new way and nurturing, using language that supports people, empathizes, has compassion with people. I don't know about you, but in my neighborhood, there's an unspoken hello. There's an unspoken warmth. When I had my three girlfriends over, I had a girls' slumber party last night because my husband's in Vegas and he's showing me this guy trip and I'm having this girl trip, and we have like gourmet food and gourmet we have like gourmet snacks and gourmet food, and we have like a gorgeous, everybody brought a gorgeous bottle of wine, and we're walking the dog and we're having deep conversations and we're crying together and we're telling stories of our children, and we are talking about books that have really elevated our vibration. We're just, it's all like love and support and literally talking for a whole day, a whole night, and a whole next day. I didn't even want them to go. And then my husband sends me his guy trip from Vegas. They're in the pool with big screen sports TVs, sports betting all around the pool. Like, give me another burger and fries. It's hilarious. Anyways, this Cancer also will have you in those nurturing, supportive friendships that feel like family, that feel like connectedness, that feel like love. The even Jupiter in Cancer conjunct Mercury can be love thy neighbor, right? Like, give the person who needs the dollar, or whatever it is. It's a generosity. Jupiter in Cancer is generosity of the heart. You're going to see survivor stories. You're going to see the silver lining through Cancerian ways. And that's going to be through love. There is going to be positive that comes out of this crisis. I want you guys to focus on something. June 9th, the moon, when it moves into Sagittarius, it's moving into the full moon. It's not quite at the full moon yet, but look at it. It's out of bounds. And guess what else is out of bounds? Do you guys see it? Do you see what else is out of bounds? Mercury. So you watch, the cruelty is going to usher in Cancerian compassion at a gargantuan level. You just watch. But if we don't have a wound, then we don't have anything to heal. So right now you're watching the wounds, and I believe the healing will be ushered in by good people like you. If you're watching this channel, you are one of these people. I have to see what you guys are saying. Um, what's the dark side of Cancer? Territorialism, um, sort of a possessive, manipulative love. um, emotional hysteria, so emotional you can't think. I think emotional manipulation and possessive, jealous, um, ownership of people that you love, loving too much, loving too hard, loving the wrong person, codependency. Yeah, that's the shadow side. Yes, overly emotional. So I wanted to tell you guys one more thing here, and then I'm going to read some charts. And I want you guys to stay with me when I read these charts, because you'll learn a lot. So you'll learn more from reading someone else's chart than you will from reading your own chart. And that is the God's honest truth. You really will, because you can be objective and you don't know the person. And so you learn more deeply. So this is very interesting. Uranus on 7-7. Let's just look on 7-7 is moving out of Taurus and into Gemini. Now, it's on Venus, so be ready to be surprised around Venetian things. But do I like Uranus in Gemini more than Uranus in Taurus? Not really. I'm being honest. Even though Uranus likes the mind, it likes the air of Gemini, it's probably happier. But I think this is ushering in shocking communication. The way people will speak will be shocking. I think this is AI. I think this is technology. This could be the trickster around technology. One of the things I just heard is somebody is inventing an app that you can use eventually. It's not in the works yet, to scan at somebody to see if you're not even ready to hear this. You're not ready to hear this. To scan your irises to see if you are a human. So, if somebody's building the technology to check and see if you are a human, what is that really telling us? Yeah, we're building robots that are going to become so like a human that we might not be able to see the difference with our own naked eye. So we have to test it. Yeah, that's what's being created. So Uranus in Gemini, I think, is high speed catalyst into that world, that inventive world technology. And I just hope that we use this technology for good, not for evil. Parmesan trees. She says, I want to get the contacts that make the scan say I'm not a human. She's a robot. We can we can let her stay. Like, we have a dystopian sense of humor now. Oh my God, 1984. AI is amazing and scary. Yeah, the government is outsourcing an AI database of all our data, and AI is so human seeming. Karen's Corner. Yes, yes, yes. Or aliens. Not my jam, but many believe. Yeah. Okay. Yes, that's true. Thank you. Thank you, Rosie. Yeah. Like scanning to see if you're human or alien. Yeah. An alien could be robot. So, anyways, you guys have Venus on the 6th changed into it changed into Taurus. Wait, hold on one second. Let me go back to that. Yeah. And it's here for 1 month. So let's do something good with it. Let's do something great with this Venus in Taurus. Uranus on 7-7. So that's next month. In 1 month's time is going to move into Gemini. I think we're going to find an abrupt shift. And I think the news or news sources or it's information overload, basically. So, what I think you should do with that Uranus in Gemini for yourself personally is learn astrology. I'm not joking. Uranus rules astrology. So does Jupiter. But Uranus is studying, with Gemini there, it is like literally studying something unusual, studying the cosmic order of things, studying your healing arts. Go deeper into your astrology with Uranus in Gemini and also all the healing arts. So for you personally, maybe it stays exciting. The world might feel the chaos, or you might feel the world's chaos a little bit, but with your own self, you can learn new things at a faster pace. And on the 8th, which is today, we're going to have that Mercury shifting into Cancer. Watch for it. And then we're going to also have Jupiter moving into Cancer. And Conowin did a whole video on Jupiter moving into Cancer and using your natal chart and the signs and how it will show up for you. So I recommend that video. This is the time to grow your garden. I'm just telling you, you've got to grow your garden. And it's a powerful, powerful kickstart for the next 12 months, truthfully. And with it, especially about learning. So with Mercury and Jupiter in Cancer coming right up, this is about learning around the things that you love. Because Cancer, what nurtures your soul? What do you just endlessly love to learn about? Do you endlessly love to read a certain kind of book? Do you find endless fascination with your astrology learning? Because this is a time to learn something that you love, absolutely love, something that you can pour love into. Because Cancer is fueled by love. Cancer is fueled by feeling nurtured when it's in Mercury by what it's learning, by what it's taking in. So you want to take in positive things that fill you up and make you kind of fall in love with life and with your own mind and with yourself. And this is a time where you're really going to grow. All of us are going to grow a more compassionate lens, a more emotional and compassionate lens. Oh, I wanted to say the 29th degree. Watch this, you guys. I wanted to say, look at this. This is very interesting and it makes me wonder what's going to happen. So this is July 6th. Very interesting. But I want look at how the moon is at the 29th degree. Hold on. So on July 4th, I think we have, hold on. I just want to do this really quickly for you. I could be wrong, but I think Venus, yes, I'm not wrong. So, you guys, on the 4th of July, Venus and Uranus are both conjunct at the 29th degree of Taurus. And I just I just wonder what this is going to be, because we also have the moon square Pluto, and it's in a square again to that. Oh, it's in a square to Mercury. So this is an interesting day, this Venus Uranus at the 29th degree. So I'll be using that time to binge watch your astrology videos. Anyone else? Oh my God. Yeah, I know. So, and look at it at 6:48. So early in the morning, 4th of July is usually not celebrated till a little bit in the afternoon, but this is like 10 a.m. in New York and 7 a.m. in Los Angeles time. And look at how we have it in the 11th house of community. So you could get a big surprise, but this moon is just squished in this cheese sandwich. So I hope it's a beautiful day. I'm going to make it a beautiful day. But what I like to do is when I see those big 29-degree, and by the way, I think the 29-degree on the outer planets are very, very lethal. 29-degree Pluto. Do you guys remember that? Holy heck. 29-degree Mars, 29-degree Venus, 29, and that's not an outer planet, but it's still big. So the 29th degree of the sun, not as lethal or critical. Why? Because it does that every 30 days. And the moon does the 29th degree every 2.5 days. So I don't look at it with the same potency or power as a Uranus at 29 degrees. Uranus is up there with Pluto, you know. So this is going to be a big 4th of July. So don't be stupid, by the way. Not that any of you would be, but do not be stupid with fireworks with this one. Oh my God. Don't be on the movie Jackass. Do you remember that? Julia says Pluto's direct on my husband's moon. I get it. It's direct on my girlfriend who was here yesterday. Remember, I said she had an Aquarius moon. It's exact on her moon too, and it's in her fourth house though. Her actually fifth house, and it's about her transformational. So see what house it's in, Julia. That is Pluto on the moon in the fifth house is about her transforming her relationship with her adult children. And she really is. And it's painful and it's hard because they're moving away and she's moving to Thailand and she lives here in Seattle. And so, you know, there's some goodbyes. It's like a new chapter with her children. So when you're looking at Pluto transiting Pluto conjunct your moon or conjunct your sun, what house is it in? That really matters. Okay, let's see. I think also this is going to slow us down a tiny bit. Not when Uranus moves into Gemini, but with the Cancerian placements, it's going to slow us down a little bit and help us be a little bit more thoughtful. Okay, so I am going to do my first cold reading, and I wanted to bring this person up. I don't even know if she's here today. Um, but I wanted to do Kafanya, and I wanted to do her because she is born in Haiti. And I just like that. And I also like that she's a Gemini. So let's all take a look at her. And the last time when I picked from the group of chatters, I got into so much trouble. And everybody was mad at me. So Lydia picked these people for me. And everybody is a super supporter or a superstar super supporter. And by the way, I just want to say thank you. I can't give you as many perks as I want to because I'm just one person. But if I could give my super supporters and my superstar supporters the world, I would. By the way, one thing I am giving you, look at her chart. Isn't this going to be a great chart? I knew this would be a great chart. I have not looked at this before. I've never seen her chart before. I don't even know if she's here, but hopefully she'll see it. But anyways, what I wanted to say is that I'm doing my Virgo masterclass, and if you're a superstar super supporter, it's totally free for you. But you have to. It's only free if you buy the free ticket. It's not free if you go get it later. So if you are a superstar super supporter, just get the link so we can send it to you for free. And if you are just a regular super supporter, God, I'm so grateful for you too. Like you guys put 10 cents into my pocket and it really matters collectively. It's 10 cents for you, but it just helps me do this work for free. And you've let me, I want to tell you what you've done. You've let me produce 2,000 video. Sorry. Yes. How many videos? Is it 2,000? I think it's 200 videos. Anyways, you've let me produce all those videos on my channel for other people since 2017. And so people are getting to learn astrology because you're putting 10 cents into my pocket. And deeper astrology, astrology that goes beyond sun sign astrology, truthful astrology, evolutionary astrology. It's really important to me. And so you've helped me facilitate that for other people. And I'm like so grateful. You do not even know the impact. I hope you do. But so I just wanted to say thank you for being a member. You're helping to be spread the light in the world. And I really appreciate it. So I'll do more members only videos, but I want you guys to come to my Virgo masterclass. Now, if you don't have Virgo in your chart, Virgo, you have to remember, we're also going to talk about Mercury. So if you have a Virgo planetary placement, great. But even if you don't, you have a sixth house, right? And you also have a Virgo house and you also have a Mercury. So we're going to talk about all those things, your Mercury, your sixth house, your Virgo house, right? Your Virgo house is ruled by Mercury. What is that doing in your chart? That's a Virgoian placement. And then actual planetary placements of Virgo. So it's a giant, juicy masterclass. I did my masterclass in Scorpio, my masterclass in Pisces, and you guys loved it. So I'm going to eventually do the whole zodiac for a masterclass. It's a lot deeper than what I give you in the videos on YouTube because I can only do an hour. And then I'll do cold readings at the end. And by the way, if you are not a supporter and you just want to come, it's just $19. Alia, thank you. Um, okay, so and you guys work with me, okay? Her chart is very, very interesting. The first thing we see, and you guys, I really want you to do this assignment, is her sun, moon, and rising sign happy together? That's the first question when you look at this chart. Is her sun, moon, and rising sign happy? Are they in positive aspect to one another? I want to know what you guys are saying. I'm going to give you a minute to think about it. I would say, I would say, yes, they are. Why? Well, the great benefic is sitting there, right? Look at the great benefic with Jupiter. That makes her sun very happy. Gemini is already a happy sign. And her moon, even though it's in the 12th house, it's sitting so close to the ascendant 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's only 4 degrees away from the ascendant and 5 degrees away from her sun. It is in a balsamic. Look at the moon phases balsamic. And you guys, if you don't know about your moon phases, please go watch my video on moon phases. If you want to understand the balsamic moon phase, you would watch my moon phases part 2 because she actually has a dark moon. She not only has a balsamic moon, but the balsamic moon phase, and no, very few people talk about this, just like the 29th degree, very few people talk about it. Hopefully it will catch fire. But there's a dark moon phase inside the balsamic phase, and she has that. So I kind of think this is good for her because it will slow the Gemini down, and she's a triple Gemini. Yeah, Leontine said yes, except for the 12th house. Um, okay, so okay, and somebody said, I want to come to the Virgo masterclass. I'm gutted that I missed Scorpio and Pisces. Well, you can buy them in my shop. They are available. And you just go to shopsoulnavigation.com. So maybe you weren't there live, but you can still watch the class. They're all for sale and available. All my workshops are. Um, I really like this. I like this chart. This tells us that what you see is what you get with her. And because it's in Gemini, it probably is, she's probably not that private of a person. She probably is just very, very straightforward. And I don't know if she is here. Is she here? Maybe not. But so we're just going to go through this really quickly. She does have a little bit of privacy right here. But look at this. Now, look at this 29-degree nodal axis. This is kind of big time. I think this is where she will experience most of her challenges and her crises. Now, look at this. Okay. I want to give you guys, for my advanced students and learners, I want to show you Mercury at the 28th degree. We would be thinking, oh gosh, it's going to go to the 29th very soon, but it's retrograde. So it's actually not going to go. It's in retrograde. So it's going backwards. So that one's not moving to the 29th degree, but that Mercury is square to her north node and her south node, and it's in the 12th house. So what does that say about her? She probably learned to keep quiet, to maybe only say the nice things, to maybe process silently or quietly, to make her voice quiet, Venetian, maybe invisible. Maybe there was somebody quick to trigger in her life where she learned, oh, I better keep my mind, keep my thoughts, keep my words to myself. Her Mercury is retrograde. It's in Taurus and it's buried in the 12th house. Do you guys see that? Do, do you see that? Thank you, Alia, for upgrading. You're so sweet. Ascendant is in a yod to Pluto and Neptune, Saturn, and Uranus. Yes. And the yods are important. She's got two quincunxes over here, but they're also supportive. Yods are very interesting. So this cluster is in a quincunx and this Pluto is in a quincunx, and these are sextile to one another. So they do offer support. And so she's a very unique person. This is somebody who probably, or I'll say, wants to break free and learn everything. Um, and she's probably supported in her learnings. With Mars in Cancer in the second house, there's deep loyalty to family. There's deep there's deep ties to family. Family is important for her, and she could even come from a warrior family or a very strong family. And her Mars is in a sextile to that Mercury. So if she can, and I hope she's kind of physically active, because her Mars, when it is activated, it actually, when she's in her energy, her chi, her movement, Mars in Cancer doesn't always love moving, but when she does, it sort of clicks into her mind. Her mind can be quite fierce if she allows it to be, with that Mars in Cancer supporting her. Venus and Mercury are in a mutual reception. That is true. And look at how not only are they in a mutual reception, but they're in an exact aspect to one another. That is really, really cool. And that is an exact semi-sextile. We don't talk about the semi-sextile very much, but that's like having just that's like being neighbors with one another. But they are in a mutual reception, so they go in an infinity loop. So we now have a second, you guys, I find they come in threes. We have a secondary theme that repeats the first theme of sort of like saying nice things, hiding her voice, learning to be pleasant, because her Venus is in Gemini. So she believes the power of her communication, Gemini, should be Venetian. And then look, the power of her communication, Mercury, should be Taurus, Venetian. So there is something very polite, kind, pleasant, and I might even say humble, but the mind is really the gateway to her highest self. Look at this. Look at this. Her Gemini, she has a huge Gemini focus. She needs to learn to communicate. She needs to learn to communicate that which she learns. She needs to lead with education and knowledge and read. And she really values intelligence. And then look at the North Node in the ninth house, intelligence to reform, transform, innovate a new progressive spiritual cosmic belief system, and to travel and to also maybe eventually live in a foreign land. I don't know if she lives in the States. I don't know where she lives. I don't know her or him, Kefana. I'm thinking it's a woman. I should say them. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. But the 29th degree in the ninth house, oftentimes North Node in the ninth house is just, I'm going to go live and be a foreigner, or I feel like a foreigner, or I love foreign culture. So even if she's still living in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, she might be open to foreigners or being with people, or she could even come from a family that is foreign in some way, or create a family that is foreign, or study abroad. but developing and inventing a new belief system is what she wants to use all this knowledge for. Do you guys see this? Oh, Jody loves humanity. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, beautiful souls. Yes, will you guys please all like this video right now so it can get pushed out? I don't know why, but my videos, they just don't get the traffic that they used to. And I'm even doing more. So I don't know what's happening. I'm a little bit buried, but I'm telling you, I'm not gonna like sweat it. Like, who's supposed to find me will find me. But if you can help, that would be great. Would the vertex make it a grand trine between the South Node and Venus? Okay, let's go look at Leontine's question. 28, 28, 28, 29. Yes. Um, she said the South Node and Venus, the vertex. What is she asking? Well, this is a sextile. Her life is very Venetian, isn't it? With the vertex in Libra at 28 degrees and her Mercury in Venus at 28. But she does get a grand trine between the vertex, the North Node, and her Venus. Yes, she does get that grand trine. So when she is in her highest self with Venus in Gemini, vertex in Libra, she can access that North Node more easily. This is kind of like be willing to fall in love with learning and knowledge. And maybe a partner, like real love, earthbound romantic love, can also, she needs to date somebody who's very smart or be with somebody who's very, very bright. Yeah, you meant the North Node. I thought so. Thank you. So that is a grand trine. But remember that the vertex and the node is, both of those are just spaces in the sky. They are not, they are not entities. Let's go look really quickly over here. So this is how you figure out if you have an out of bounds planet. So it's the declination, it's not the degree. So the declination is how far north or south your your planet is wobbling, if you will. And so she has an out of bounds moon in the 12th house. So even though it's in Gemini, she loves really big and she wants to be able to talk about her feelings. And she might even get burned because the moon is it is combust to the sun. She might even get burned or has gotten burned by speaking her emotions out loud if it's not done with, moderation. And so that's why I think she learned to be kind of quiet or reflective or thoughtward or internalize her thoughts. And then look what else. Her Venus is out of bounds. So she is a big, loving person, a very big hearted person. I want you guys to know the Venus is out of bounds. Yeah. I want to know from you guys if hold on. I want to know if you guys are learning a lot by seeing someone else's chart. So I'm going to do Peter Spearing now, and he's a 629. So what does that tell us already? What does that tell us? Oops. We already know that he's going to have a Jupiter year, right? 618. Hold on. Now, when I do my academy, my Soul Navigation Athena Academy of Astrology, I'm going to be working in a Zoom class and we will be working with your charts in the class. So it will be really, really cool. And I don't know how many students I'll get. I don't think I'll get too many. I don't think it's going to be too crazy. Can you guys all see the chart? Oh, okay. This is Peter. He's here. Yay. Okay. Hi, Peter. Um, you can thank Lydia. Lydia picked everybody. She just put them all in a list. So I'm grateful for her. Angel Jess says 100% seeing someone else's chart is incredibly insightful. Um, I also want to tell you guys that if somebody gets chosen and it's not you, they probably need it. Like spirit is so divine that way, like that really magical. And they, I don't know, the person probably is having, needs the inspiration or support from us or power. And anything you can put in the comments will help that person. So don't let it just be me. You can answer my questions, but also whatever you notice that is remarkable or special, I invite you to put into the live chat or the comments, literally the comments. And these souls who were, lucky enough to be members, thank you, and to get their chart picked, they get to come back to this video forever and read comments on it. So put them in the comments and put it in the live chat. And by the way, I think, cross your fingers, I think my live chat will replay. So if you've got something profound, also put it in the comment because we know for sure it will be there. Okay, well, this man was born with a 29-degree Uranus conjunct Neptune. So that's pretty huge. Do you guys see that? But let's don't start there. Let's start with this Cancer new moon in the eighth. Oh my God. Right? You guys are cute. I love being in the chat. I can't be in the chat enough. Um, so this gentleman is born with this new moon. And Peter, you're going to have to tell us how advanced are you in your astrology? I can see you're a little tiny bit new as a member, but do you know a lot about astrology or are you just learning? Wonderful. Okay, so with this new moon in the eighth house, we know that this man is a great transformer, my God, and he has Pluto on his rising sign. So we know that Peter is here to transform not only his own soul, not only his own heart, but probably is a great transformer for the world. And we can see that he has a grand trine. Do you guys see it? Pluto, Saturn, and the moon. Like, wow, 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 wow. Um, and when we're dealing with the third house, but you guys, he's straddling both the third and the fourth. And what is significant about the third and the fourth? What is significant about the third and the fourth houses? This line right here. This line, now he's born in Lincoln, England. So the chart's a little bit tilted, but this is the foundation in which he stands on. And so what is he standing on? Water, Pisces. So he needs a surfboard. He needs a paddleboard. He needs a houseboat, right? So he's building his life on Saturnian things, Pisces things. And this Saturn really is straddling both the third and the fourth house. And okay, says he's been learning for a while, so we can talk advanced astrology to him. So the IC is Pisces, so he's building his whole life, his whole concept of life on the platform of Pisces. And then he has his sun and his moon in the 8th house. And then he has Pluto rising in Scorpio as a 29-degree Scorpio rising. Did anybody put that in the chat? Please tell me somebody wrote about that in the chat. And I just want to say this is a very intense chart. And he has Uranus in Capricorn, right? In an exact sextile to his Scorpio rising. And he has Saturn in trine to his Pluto in his Scorpio rising. And with this grand water trine, I think something that's very interesting is he has the tools, he and the North Node in Scorpio, he actually has the tools to overcome his challenges and to move through the great transformation of his life. But this is a life of really serious transformation. Now, let me tell you the clue or the cue that I get where it's not just about his own transformation, which Cancer sun, Cancer moon, your life is highly personal. It's very much about yourself, your family, and you, just because it's a new moon and it's Cancer. And so it's deeply personal to you. And the water signs are deeply, deeply personal and internal. But the reason why I say I think you are also going to then take those tools that you learn to transform your own self with, your own soul, your own heart, and put them into what's the 11th house. We just talked about it at the opening of this video where I was talking about the transits. What is the 11th house? It's community, right? And Scorpio is the great transformer, and you've got it 4 times. So if you guys are looking for the theme in your chart, look for what theme repeats 3 times or more. And he's got a scorpionic theme. He's got it by Pluto on the ascendant, by a 29-degree Scorpio rising, by an 8th house stellium with his personal planets, by a North Node in Scorpio. This guy is so Scorpio. He is so Scorpio. And then he has this water trine, in the water houses, basically. I know Saturn is technically in the 3rd, but it's straddling the 4th too. So the 4th, the 8th, and the 12th. So this man is a very, very sensitive, compassionate. He's got his finger on the pulse of pain, your pain, his pain, my pain. Great empath, very psychic, the healing arts, doing Chiron's work and taking the medicine is absolutely critical for your life. And here he is, a knowledge warrior. Look how smart he is with the Mercury in its own domicile, Gemini. And then he's got this square, Mars Chiron to Venus Mercury. And so there's tension here, right? Like what I think and what I want to do, there's conflict. What I want to do in the world and what I think. So can you relate to any of this? Surviving. He writes surviving. Yeah. Okay. So let's take Peter's chart because it's fascinating. And let's just show you guys how you're going to use your own chart. And if you guys want to get a reading, you can get one like probably this week, even maybe, or next week with Connie Joe. And you could get on my calendar in July if you want to go into your chart deeply. I would rather you come and learn with me in person in Nice and spend the money on that. But you could do it either way, just because I know you will learn so much in person. But the readings are fascinating. So let's look at this. What is going on? Well, we love this Venus on the South Node. So I don't know if you're in relationship or not, but this could be a love coming into your life, somebody who you already know, or this could be you investing more deeply in your relationships. And it is in the house of romance. So I don't know if you already have a relationship, then love and romance and playfulness can be emphasized right now in your love relationship, or you can attract somebody from your past. Don't be surprised if you see your ex in the grocery store. Let's see. So I want you guys to tell Peter also what you think about his aspects. I know there's lots of you that can read a chart. And we have a lot of people watching right now. So we have Mars in his ninth house, right? And he is about to have a Mars return. So activating his belief system is going to be a huge emphasis for him. It's going to be a watch this. We're going to just move this 1 month later. And here it is. He's having a Mars return. So by July 8th, you're in full activation around Peter. The big question is, what do you believe in? Because you're being asked to North Node on your Saturn, July 8th, North Node on your Saturn, Mars return, South Node in Chiron, to get rid of the things that have held you back in a Virgoian way, to get rid of the grind, to get rid of, I guess, the critical parts of your life where you critical, maybe negative self-talk, maybe negative belief system, and activate something new that you believe in and step into the responsibility of doing it. And look at how it brings in healing with Chiron on the South Node. Isn't this interesting, you guys? He's really going through a big Chiron moment. Let me show it to you. Let me show it to you. Do you see it? Yeah, you guys are seeing it. Okay, cool. South Node on Chiron, Chiron on the South Node. What is happening to this man? Right? And Jupiter on his sun. Yes, exactly. Exactly, Amanda. So look for the themes. And if they repeat 3 times, it's like spirit is saying, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. Um, okay, I love this. Let's just keep going. So this is on July 8th. I just wanted to move it forward so you can know that your ninth house is being activated. And the ninth house is travel to help yourself heal, travel to learn something, Virgo. Travel is calling you in July. I don't know if you have a trip, but it could really heal you. And you need to also kind of play. You're a little bit on the serious side. And this Chiron on the South Node is suggesting play with me, find your playfulness, do something playful. Jupiter on your sun is asking you to really step into the the part of your life that wants to transform, you know, and really embrace it. And there's abundance. I think you're going to see with Jupiter on the sun that you just feel bigger. You're going to be filled with a new kind of faith, believing in something new, a new identity around what I believe in, your belief system. And you are still fairly young, 1995, you're not an old person yet. Maybe your entire belief system has not yet completely gelled and cemented and crystallized, because you are coming out of your Saturn return, and you're coming out of your Saturn return. And I think in an interesting way, you're just now figuring out who you're going to be for the rest of your life. Yeah. How fun. Okay, let's do another one. I am going to do Karen. Okay, hold on. I don't know if Karen's here. Karen Whipple. Karen. And 1017. So we already know we have a Libra. And 207. Are you guys learning? Are you learning a few new tricks? From New York. Here we go. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. We knew we were getting kind of a late Libra because the 17th is a little bit later. Oh, Peter says, during my return, I figured out that I want to be an actor. Well, with Jupiter on your sun, this is the time to audition, because there's a lot of opportunity. And this is a time when you can really be seen. And I also think you'd be a very good actor because I think that you can even transform the emotions, like transform into emotions. And I think you could probably even do like the nuanced emotions really, really well with all that water in your chart. And with Pluto on your rising sign and Scorpio, you might find that deep roles are attracted to you. And deep roles really can transform the world. Have you guys ever watched a movie that like changed your life forever? For me, it was Sophie's Choice, Schindler's List, right? Like, look how Star Wars changed the entire world, right? There are movies that are iconoclastic that completely change culture and life and society. Dead Poets Society, Goodwill Hunting, uh, Private Ryan, these movies like changed the world, changed perception. And so you might get roles that are deeply transformative like that, not just like comedy. However, there are comedy. Look at the Minions and Lilo and Stitch. Those also changed the world in Pixar movies. And so I want you to think about how acting could be the alchemy, the tool, the magic, the medicine for you to create transformation because you are the great transformer. You were born that way. Okay, is Karen here? Oh, KT. Oh, she's my queen. I love all the crowns. I think it means you've been with me for a year. The crowns are so sweet. And I have a couple angel wings and unicorns. I need to get a new badge on there for people who've been with me for more than 2 years or 3 years. Thank you for being a super supporter or superstar supporter. Just thank you for loving us. So look at this. This is a very interesting thing. Okay, you guys, I want you to know that you can have a new moon phase. You can have a new moon phase, um, even with a different sign. So, because her sun is so late and her moon is so early, it creates a new moon phase. So, the first thing I like to teach you is, does her sun, her moon, and her rising sign get along, understand each other, like each other, or do they create challenges, conflicts, mountains to climb? So is she going to be automatically at ease with who she is in the world and who she is at the soul level? And is her heart going to be easily fulfilled, or is it challenged? So in the new moon, she has very strong emotions, like in Aries. So she feels intensely and she feels passionately about her life. But we know that Libra and Scorpio in that semi sextile, next door neighbors, while in aspect, they are considered conjunct, barely, it's 10 degrees practically, it's 9 degrees. And it is in a new moon. So it's like they are neighbors that maybe talk to one another, but I grow tulips and you grow cacti, right? Like we grow different things, but we're both cultivating our landscape in different ways. So, um, they have to learn how to kind of get along because they're fused together like cacti and tulips. Now, is that awful? No, they just have to learn how to resonate with one another. But let's look at, does the sun at 24 degrees get along with a 14-degree Capricorn? So who she is in the world, who she's been asked to be in the world, South Node in Capricorn, what she does really, really well, Capricorn energy, what she does really well is her soul, satisfied with that. Do you guys understand where I'm going? Yes, we can get there, Kimberly. But first, we're going to do this really quickly. So the soul at in 24 Libra and the soul at 14 Capricorn, they don't really understand one another. They're in square to one another. So that sort of sweetness, that Venetian sweetness inside of her in the ninth house, which is so happy in the ninth house. The ninth house is the happy house and the zodiac. I like the fifth and the ninth, and then I like the third. But this is one of the houses of joy. You know, there is a desire to be joyful and in love and lead with love. And now let me just do the sun with Capricorn first, and then we'll get to how this repeats itself, because I want you guys to look for the repeated themes. It's in conflict with all the responsibility that she feels on her shoulders. She has to be very much in her own authority, and she had to probably grow up fast. She probably had to learn the rules and regulations of life. She does it very well, and she had to go into self-management at a very, very intense and high level. Now, let's just look at the moon, and then we'll go back to the chart ruler. The moon in Scorpio at 3 and the Capricorn at 14. You know, they don't officially make uh a trine. You can see the sun, sorry, the ascendant right here and the moon right here. They don't make an aspect. So she doesn't have her sun or her moon really supporting who she has to be in the world. So there's a gap here. There's a gap. And when there's a gap, what that means is that it's up to you. You know, it's up to you to get your life on your terms, to get your life and your heart in alignment with who you feel you have to be in the world. And then the big question is do you really have to, do you have to be this, do you have to be this Capricorn in the world? Can the sun and the moon overtake the rising sign? And you will have to learn how to modify and moderate that Capricorn rising. That Capricorn rising repeats itself 2 more times. One, the South Node in Capricorn, she's really good at it. She does it by default. It's actually going to be impossible for her not to do Capricorn energy. It is the face of her chart. It is the South Node. It's what she's already mastered. And Saturn, great Saturn, which is Capricorn's ruler, is attached like the cheese in a cheese sandwich to her Pluto and her sun. And it's attached to her sun a tiny bit closer than Pluto, because the sun is at 24.2, Saturn's at 25.2, so that's an exact degree, and her Pluto is at 26.45, so that's almost 2 degrees, but still it's so dang close. So that Saturn really is quite controlling in her chart. And she probably feels, and you'll have to tell us, Karen, KT, if she had a lot of responsibility. I do think that she probably is so bright, so smart. Libras, I think, have the potential to have the highest EQ, the highest intelligence in a chart. And Libras are underestimated, like they're just a pretty face, but they're not, because they have an EQ and an IQ. They have an intuition and a logic and an ability to strategize. And in today's modern world, they understand people, the psychology of relationships. They understand what is needed, what is not needed, and they strategize for outcomes. They are the critical thinkers of the zodiac that can consider people. And so these are people managers. These people they run the people in their life. She says, no, they don't. They struggle. So LOL. So she feels these pieces of her struggle. I think she's telling us that. This is amazing. I'm behind in the video. Oh, okay. So we'll let that person be. But what I want to say is I think this is a highly responsible human being, maybe somebody who also had to sacrifice some of her own joy, the ninth house, because Saturn is repeating its theme. Saturn in Capricorn, and then she has Jupiter in Scorpio in the 10th house, which is Capricorn's house. And so this is a highly, highly, highly responsible person. I think integrity and honesty is just absolutely critical to her. The ninth house is about searching for the truth. And so she got this conflict between her sun, her moon, her sun and her moon, her sun and her rising sign, her moon and her rising sign. And so life is not straightforward for her. By the way, what you see is not what you get. You probably see a very high, strong, capable person who might come across highly responsible, serious, maybe even a little bit of like weight on her shoulders. Um, we might even see some sort of burden right away. But then once you open her up with the can opener, we see that she is like delightfully joyful and she wants to pursue her passions and she wants to live at the margins of life. And she doesn't want to play small ball. She wants to play big ball. She wants to play infinity ball. She wants to play, you know, the fiddle for the world. She doesn't want to play the fiddle for herself. Actually, her life is not even about herself. Her life is about doing for others. That's all Libra. That's the ninth house out there in the world. And that's Capricorn also. Like, I'm responsible for people. Can you relate to any of this, Karen? Like, are you tired? You're born in 1982. So are you, and you have an out of bounds Mars. So let's say, thank God for this Mars, Neptune in Sag in the 11th house, because it's out of bounds, you guys. And so it's in the 11th house. So you might be a community activist. I don't know what you're doing where you live, but are you active in your community? Do you take causes out there in the world, or, you know, do you go on walkabout or mission, or, you know, is your drive around what you believe in? So really learning what you believe in, and then putting it out there into the world is really quite important to you. She says, my Capricorn has been tough, lots of responsibility. I found my intelligence later because how everyone else is around me. But I do take over. But I do take over. Um, Look at this. My cat is eating my flowers. Ivy, no, no, no. She's eating my gorgeous peonies. By the way, if you ever want to buy me flowers, the peony is my flower. It is a rose on steroids, and my girlfriends brought me those peonies. Ivy, get down. Oh my gosh. And I had people at the workshop bring me peonies and I almost cried. Let's see. Chris says her chart, she's born 5 days prior to her. You can really see your own themes when you can see them show up in someone else's chart. Now, let's talk about her north node in Cancer. Will you guys help me with this? Her north node in Cancer in the sixth house, right? She's really supposed to, I think, nurture her body. I don't know if you're doing that, Karen. Um, Doing things that make you well. So, and Cancer also represents the stomach. So, eating foods that are healthy for you. You know, food is medicine for you. It's important that you invest in your food, in your wellness, in your health, and that you get out of the scatteredness of Sagittarius and Libra. Libra is busy. Libra is mentally active all the time. And Sagittarius is busy, and Capricorn is also very industrious. And so unplugging, going acoustic, being in your Cancer North Node, maybe caring for others, serving others in a nurturing way, but not in a way that overloads you. Very thoughtful. Let's see. Yes, people see the Capricorn and then they get the Libra. I'm a teacher and I have lots of responsibilities. ENL teachers. What's ENL? English? No. ENL. I don't know what ENL teachers are, but that's really wonderful. I think she would be a very good teacher, and she's very, very smart. And when you're a teacher, you're a people manager, right? You're managing the learning of other people. The ninth house is the teacher. So the ninth house is literally becoming the mentor, and a mentor is a teacher. The sixth house is the mentor. The ninth house is the professor, is the teacher. Um, what? She's working with refugees. Well, my God. Okay. The ninth house is also foreigners. And are you a foreigner? Like, do you live in a foreign land? Or are you living in New York, or where do you live? And you can just tell us United States or something. But so I think that's very interesting that she works with refugees. The ninth house is the house of foreigners. She has her sun there, her Venus, her value system. She has her chart ruler there. And look at how she has the weight of the world. So she probably goes home in this Cancerian North Node and really feels the pain and suffering of the refugees and helps them. I think she's helping them, she's teaching them. And you probably are a true godsend. When you have the North Node in Cancer in the sixth, you are here to be of nurturing service to others and to become really good at your craft, self mastery, right? And your self mastery is going to come from the heart. So I guess my question is, do you love what you do? Do you love what you do? That's my question, because loving what you do is a very important part of that North Node in Cancer. So I'm going to do Anna Mack. I don't know if she's here, um, but I'm going to do her because my fabulous Lydia, you guys might know her if you bought anything in the shop. Um, she is just the delight of my life. And so she helped me organize this. Um, and then I also wanted to tell you guys that I have a report in my shop at Shop Soul Navigation that is called Your Chart Rulers. And I really recommend you get it and you start working with it, because it talks about the rulers of each of your houses and where those planets are in your house and what it means. And that's what I'm going to be teaching in Nice. And so if you are going to Nice, definitely get that report. But you should start working with each house and its ruler and what is it doing and what is it trying to bring to your life. That's how you go deeper. You don't just look at the sun, the moon, the rising, although that's critical too. You want to see how each arena of your life is operating and working. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, now we have a night chart. Did you guys watch my video on the day charts and the night charts? Oh, it's 11:11. Oh my gosh. We have to take a picture. That's my dad. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, all this Jupiter. We have a lot of Jupiter emphasis, don't we? Um, oh, okay. Karen wrote ENL is English as a new language. Oh my God. So you are really in New York. And she just had stomach surgery and is still recovering. Oh, you poor thing. Okay, we're not going to make you laugh then. And she's working with refugees. I want to tell you, Karen, you're really living your chart. I mean, you're really living with your chart. And I pray that you're able to continue to do this work. This work is really important. And immigrants and refugees are just being brutalized right now, and they need somebody with a North Node in Cancer in the sixth house. And it's very fitting. Isn't it interesting, you guys? Like how I said, if you didn't get chosen, the person who did probably needed it. And maybe she was chosen because of the start of this video, what we were talking about. Um, and what a beautiful soul you are. She says, yes, it's just exhausting? What, the surgery or your life or your job or all of it? Oh, everybody's just sending her so much love. Thank you, Angel, Jess. Okay, let's look at this chart. And we can also, well, is Anna even here? I don't know if Anna's here. Is Anna here? Yeah, moon rising in Leo, right, Shane? How amazing. What else do you guys see? So, the very first thing you will do when you open up a person's chart, and teaching you how to be an astrologer. And I want you guys to play with other people's charts. So, just ask friends in your life, can I look at your chart? And I'll read it. I don't know everything. I'm not in the Athena, the Athena Academy yet of astrology, but I know a few things, and just read the things you do know, like, oh, your sun and moon, they go well together, or your moon and your rising, they go well together. Did your mom shape your life? So this is Anna Max. So we can see that her mother is literally right here on her face. I don't think she's here. But we can see that there's a gargantuan mother presence. And whenever I see Leo in the chart, I know that this, so if you're a Leo rising, a Leo sun, a Leo moon, you grew up probably in a pride, probably in a tribe, probably in a pack like coyotes, like lions. You probably grew up in a sort of tribal system where there was hierarchy. And this mama who raised her is influential, powerful, and strong. Now, we can't totally tell until we pick the chart apart what her relationship is with her mom, but I will just tell you right now, I wish she was here. Her mother shaped her life. Whether, let's say her mother passed away at 3 years old. Well, the passing away of her mother would have shaped her life. Let's say her mother was there every single day of her life and gave her fresh sheets, cookies, and was the world's greatest cook. Her mother shaped her life. So when you have a moon this close, it doesn't mean you were loved well by your mother. It means your mother was one of the most powerful things in your life, and she shaped the way in which you interact with the world. So the mother's influence is really enormous. One of the harder things about the moon on the ascendant, if you want to talk about the challenge of this aspect, I usually see this as quite beautiful, but this can be very difficult to detach from mother. This can be very difficult to get out from underneath mother's influence or vote or voice. So mom is very present. So sometimes with a moon in Leo, it can even be where you care for your mother her whole life long in your home, doing your mother's agenda, doing your serving your mother in a way. She could be in need, genuine need. And so it can be literal, like not being able to leave mother, but it could also just be emotional. And if you have this in your daughter's or your son's chart, like your son has moon on the ascendant, just know, think about, am I an overbearing mother? So does anybody have this aspect in their child's chart? Let me give you something. So this is what, and I cannot wait for you guys to be able to go purchase the workshop that I just did. Conowin is editing it for me right now. It's being finished. So it'll probably be there next week. And you can buy the classes, the workshops that I did in Seattle, which were really, really rewarding to do. And one of the things I did was family tree astrology. So if you have your child's chart, you take that child's chart, you are the moon in their chart. They see you not as your moon sign. You might have this gorgeous Taurus moon, but in their chart, they have a Scorpio moon. To them, you are a Scorpio moon. So if this is your child's chart, you know that you are a moon in Leo on the rising sign. You're probably a little bit of an overbearing mom. And if you don't want to be that and you don't want to put all that on your child, how do you get more independent in your child's life? Does this make sense? So I taught family tree astrology, and we spent a lot of time on the mother and the father aspect in your chart and what it says. So your moon in your chart, yes, it does represent you, but it also shows us your mother. Just like your child's chart's moon will show us you. Does that make sense? It's very powerful work. And Mars and Mercury in the fourth. Yeah. And Shane, also the sun, Jupiter, like a whole giant kaboom. So this woman grew up in a tribe, right? In a pride of lions, and loyalty to family is a must, and family gave identity. And so you're right, it extends to the father, it extends to the siblings if there are any. And it in the siblings, that could be a struggle because Mars is on Mercury. Mercury is your siblings, and it's in Scorpio, and it's in the fourth. So this is like a complicate. It's also a night chart. So almost everything, including the ruler of her chart, the sun, is down below the horizon. So when you have the planets or the sun and the moon below the horizon, we're working with a night chart. And the night chart is very internalized. It's deeply personal, and it's very private. When we just did Karen's chart, it was this giant, big, enormous ninth house day chart. And what is she doing? She is teaching refugees on how to speak English as a new language. Oh my God. That is so ninth house, right? And this woman's life is so deeply personal, and it is really centered around her family. Taurian Empress, what if your sibling is exact opposite sign as you? For instance, I'm a Taurus, my brother's a Scorpio. Well, opposites attract, and you need to learn what you're here to learn what he has to offer, and he's here to learn what you have to offer. But that's not really what I taught in my class. That's just a synastry question. I taught how to see your whole family inside your natal chart. So your siblings are your Mercury, your siblings are your third house. So that's kind of what I was trying to teach. Um, okay, so I think we see a repeated theme of family with Leo rising, and she's a 0 degree Leo rising. So isn't it funny how, I don't know, was it Peter? I think he was a 29 degree Scorpio rising. Now we have a 0 degree Leo. So we're really getting the extremes here. So this is like extreme Leo. And if you guys really study Pride of Lions, um, wow, how the system, how the structure, how the chain of command works is just very, very intense. So she's born into a very strong Pride of Lions. And oftentimes when you have a lot of Leo, and I would say she has a ton of Leo because she has her moon there, she has a 0 degree Leo, you usually idolize your parents. You usually have a relationship to your parents where you feel as a little kid, 0 to 12, 0 to 14, can I live up to you? So does her sun like her moon? Yes, by sign, but no, not by aspect. It's not in aspect. It would be a sextile, but it's not. And you can just go to the little cheat sheet. I hope you guys have all bought my gorgeous natal chart because I put so much information on it, and it's just so easy to read, right? And I like these charts way better than the free ones that you can buy. But look at sun, moon, nothing. So it's too wide to be aspected, but they get along. They like each other. They those Libra and Leo know how to work with one another. But does her sun like her rising sign? Yes. She likes who she is in the world. She can get doors open, and she does not struggle with whatever impression she makes. She also likes herself because Jupiter is on her sun. And so there is an ease here. This is not where her problems are. Her problems are not with, um, you know, who I am out there in the world. It fits with who her heart wants to be, the Leo moon, and who her soul is. It all kind of fits. And um, even though this is not an aspect, it is still by sign. So it's okay. Well, her sun opposing the midhaven. Somebody asked, what does that mean? She has a night chart. She is really sort of semi stuck, even though she's a Leo rising. She has the moon there. Um, she's really stuck into her family turmoil and her own personal growth. And so with the sun opposing the midheaven, it might be hard for her to put her gifts out there into the world in the way in which she wants them to be. Now, she does have a little bit of help from her South Node in Gemini in the 11th. So when she does go into community, I do think people like her and they see her as very smart. But her 10th house, right? The ruler of her midhaven is Scorpio in the fourth. She probably can do out front Leo, Gemini, South Node, but she also probably is very deeply reflective and keeps a lot of her um, energy moving inward. There's a depth to this woman. She's here to learn how to play and act and maybe even perform and be creative to pursue the truth or find the truth through her authentic self-expression. So she's on a big trajectory in this lifetime to figure out, who am I? Am I who my parents said I was? Am I going to carry the legacy of my family? And am I going to pass it on to children? So this is fascinating. Okay. It's 11:30. How many people? Okay. I have about 100 people here. I'm just going to move this over really quickly. Hold on. I'm going to stop my share. And I'm just going to ask you guys if you have questions. And I'll just answer a couple little questions for you before we go. But I really do recommend that you get your 365 transits report so you can see the transits going on. And the transits are like every important day in your life. And then I also want your feedback. I really liked how I did the moon tracker. And so I was going to do a video for July with predictions by tracking the moon. And did you guys learn a little bit on how to use the moon? And have you been using the moon to track your transits? I'm really hoping you guys are learning how to also, independent from my videos. What I really want to do is I want to teach you how to see the astrology. That's really what I mostly want to do. Yes, I can do readings and I love helping people transform and I love reading charts. It's absolutely wonderful. But the second part of my mission in life, as I enter my wisdom years, right? I'm getting older. I want to pass the light on to you so you can also start to see. You're younger than me, most of you, and I want you to be able to light up your little corner of the world. What astrology software program would you recommend to get? Well, I don't know if I would recommend the one I use, but because I've used it for so long and I've designed my charts and reports, I'm sticking with it, but I don't know if I would actually recommend it. You could get Solar Fire. That is the most popular one. You could get Time Passages. That's built by Henry. He's a dear friend of mine. I absolutely love him. I think Time Passages is brilliant. Henry is brilliant. He is such a love, Sagittarius, Leo. And I also think the Astro Gold is pretty good. I've never used it for desktop. I've used it for the phone. Okay, let's see. I would love to do family charts. Well, Karen, what you should do is just wait 1 week and then you guys, the fan and you and everybody, anybody who was there, you can tell about it. I did a case study with Karen Carpenter and it just it blew the barn doors off my soul. And when you see her family tree astrology, you're not going to be the same person after you watch that case study. It is just shell shocking. And the family tree astrology, like it's, your inherited astrological DNA. What DNA astrologically did you inherit? And you can see in each one of those charts I read, the theme has been passed down onto you by divine spirit, or you chose it, or your family, um, more than 3 times. In your chart, you can find the themes. They're really powerful. You can see how your parents shaped you. Um, I Chris says, hi Chris. I actually went and bought the Llewellyn Moon Journal this week. I love it, especially for Cancer Rising. Thanks for the recommendation. Where did I put it? I wanted to show you guys. Just go get it, even though we're halfway through the year. Here it is. Yeah, you can get the moon guide or the daily planetary guide. I really like because you can just look in here and get your retrogrades, and it's for Pacific time and then New York time. So I'm sorry for my Australians. Oh my God, the Australians love me. Australia is my third biggest like viewership place. I was just shocked. Okay. Shane says I've been tracking the moon for my transits. Yeah. Leontine, when the chart ruler is conjunct the sun, would that help if the sun and the ascendant are not compatible? Yes, I would say it does help. When the chart ruler, well, let me just ask this, Leontine. If the chart ruler is neutral or benefic, it really helps. But if we're talking about Pluto or Uranus, and the chart ruler is conjunct the sun, that would mean you're just going to be more of that planet. So if it's benefic, I think it's very helpful. If it is malefic, I think it could be challenging. You will grow through challenges. So that's the real answer. Doretha says, I use time passages and I like it. Yeah, that's my friend Henry. He's a beautiful, beautiful, smart soul. Where should I start if I want to transition from intermediate to advanced in astrology? I really want to learn more and become professional at reading for others. Your channel has helped me a ton. Ionis. Well, I would definitely say that you could look into Kepler College. You could look into some advanced courses with Stephen Forrest. He has an online school. You could look into the London Astrology program. And you could also, I'm going to open up my school, my Athena Astrology Academy of Astrology. And I'm not going to start out advanced, but I'm going to offer an advanced chart reading synthesis storytelling course. The storytelling is, how do you tell this story? And I think you're ready for more synthesis. I would also recommend, if you can, study with me in Nice. It is not necessarily advanced. It's going to meet you where you're at. But on the third day, what we're going to do is work with everybody's chart. And I'm going to teach you how to find the story inside the chart through teaching you synthesis. And I think that's what most advanced students are looking for. Like, how do I do the interpretation of these aspects in transit? So you could also come to Nice for those 3 days. My Athena Academy of Astrology. That's going to be the name of my new school. Soul Navigations, Athena Academy of Astrology. I'm going to start that. I might start it on December 31st, to tell you the truth. Right now I'm building the curriculum. Lydia's helping me, thank God. It's a lot of work. It's a ton of work to pull away from my personal readings and build the school. But I'm going to just do a foundations course to start. And then I might do a breakout advanced students class or Zoom session. Do I like Liz Green's work? Absolutely. Liz Green, Peter, is so special and so remarkable. What Liz did was, she was one of the pioneers around bringing psychological astrology into play. And evolutionary astrology is very similar to understanding the psychological archetypes. And she's a modern astrologer. And what I like about her work is, it's kind of like what Jung and Freud did to psychology, Liz did to astrology. And so she's really revered and she's very respected. She also helped it go mainstream, right? Like, you know how pop music went mainstream. She is kind of like pop music in the music scene. But I don't mean that like dumbed it down. It's just that she She made astrology become a household thing again. And aren't we grateful for that? Because that's how I'm telling you, you're watching me because of what Liz Green did in her days. So she's really special to astrology. She turned the lights back on to it. Um, and she's very talented, and she distilled complexities into simplicity. And sometimes I struggle with that. Sometimes I stay too complex. And so I really value her work, Peter. Um, what is something about astrology as a whole or a certain aspect of it that you wish more people would take the time to understand? First time commenting here, look forward to learning. Well, I think I say this, that my wish, I think I say it in like every other video. You guys have to tell me, like, I say this ad nauseum. I wish the whole world realized that there is no such thing as sun sign astrology. It's not true, it's bogus, it's BS, and it is so much more complex than your sun sign. And I know you guys hear me say that ad nauseum, right? But you know how many people I know in my life, and people come up to me and go, I'm a Libra. What does that mean? And I'm like, okay, well, what time were you born? Where's your moon? What's your rising? What house is it in? Like, if me saying I'm a Libra is like, I have blonde hair and I'm Caucasian. I mean, okay, you can get a lot from that, but not really. So I wish people knew that it is so deep. It is so genuinely real when you understand the science of it. I would also like people to know, thank you for letting me be on my soapbox. I want people to know that astrology is both a science and an art. And it's synthesizing science, math, and art together. And I wish more people took it seriously. And I think if they went beyond sun sign astrology, they would. They would start to really, really see the truths in it. And so it kind of breaks my heart a little bit when people just write it off because they're like, oh, so everybody born in December is, the same. I'm like, no, not at all. No two Sagittariuses are the same. Um, Ali says, I've been looking at past events in my life and analyzing the transits at that time. It's amazing, super helpful with healing, but connecting how those transits felt has helped me create the stories. Okay, that is a great point. So, one of the ways in which you can know, okay, how is this going to feel? How does this Jupiter return feel? Well, if you're older than 12 years old, you can go back to your last Jupiter return. Jupiter will return every 12 years. So when was the last time Jupiter returned? So Allie is suggesting you go back to the last time you had that transit and you see what it brought up for you. So you know kind of what to expect with this transit because it's living in an echo chamber. I have to sneeze. And so that's a great assignment if you want to do advanced work to figure out the story. Now, it's not going to be the exact same story, but it's probably going to be a continuation of that story. So, if you do have Jupiter in Cancer right now, go back to about 12 years, what was happening, right? I'll be buying the classes. What combinations in the chart tell us most about ourselves, Emily? Well, that's kind of what we were just doing. I would say, like, where you start, like the basic, the most simple is, does your sun get along with your rising sign? Are they in harmony? Does your moon get along with your sun? Does your moon get along with your rising sign? That will tell us right away your sun, moon, and rising. Um, if your persona, how I receive you, your rising sign, is in alignment with your soul, or are they in conflict? And it will also show us your emotional makeup. So I think the sun, moon, and rising for just easy, fast, deep um, awareness about how somebody ticks in the world, that's the quickest and the deepest. And then we go into, with that rising sign, one of my very favorite things to do, if I know your rising sign, I know your chart ruler. So if you're Sag rising, I know Jupiter rules your whole life. And so you're very Jupiterian. So I think about those rulers because I'm going to see you as your Jupiter sign if you're a Sag rising. So the chart ruler is also very critical. Yes, that's really great, Morgan. I would also say that when you know somebody's south node, you know what they're exceptionally good at. And when you understand their north node, you can see what they're trying to glean or gain in this lifetime. And that's when you can be really helpful to somebody. If you're helping somebody with their north node, and you're doing it in a loving and kind way, you really are like an angel in their life. Like if somebody came over to my house and said, Meredith, what can I do to help you just relax and do nothing today? I would be like, oh my God, my Taurus North Node just walked in the door, right? That's what it was like with my girlfriends over. They did the cooking, they brought over do you guys know what Copper River salmon is? It only lasts for like 10 days, 14 days. I don't know if you can get it where you live, but it's just this very special kind of salmon and it's super expensive and it's very rare. And I like to eat it every single day in the 2 weeks that it becomes available. And my girlfriend brought over Copper River salmon. I was going to make tacos. She's like, F the tacos, let's go get, I'm bringing Copper River salmon. And I was just like, that's my north node. So when you know someone's north node and you sing a song that their north node wants, you really are an angel in their life. Emily says, my sun, moon, rising, and north node are all in air signs. That is awesome. And are they all in aspect to one another? So you might have a grand trine, which is like really helpful to help push you into your highest best self in the nodes. I work with the nodes, you guys. Sometimes I do an entire chart reading based on the north and south node, depending if they're really in a strong placement in the chart. And I don't even look at the sun, moon, and rising because I want to talk to the person about who they are becoming. What if your rising is on the cusp of Cancer and Gemini? Well, to tell you the truth, so are you a Gemini with a whole first house of Cancer? You have to blend those two. But if you are Gemini rising and you only have one, let's say you're 29, like Peter, he was 29 degrees Scorpio rising. That if you are just even 1 degree if you're at the 29th degree of your rising sign, that sign's ruler is the ruler of your chart no matter what. It's just that the other sign will also be magnificently present in your body, in your physicality. Thanks to all the teaching about the progression, my astrology godmother there. That's so cute. Yeah, if you guys want to learn about your progressed chart, like who you are today, I have a whole entire progressed chart series. Chantel, what if your chart ruler is in its fall? For example, Saturn is in Aries. I don't really pay too much attention to the fall. I do pay attention to the natural domicile. So when us I sometimes pay attention to the fall, but I am not obsessed with that. I feel, for example, when Mercury's in Pisces or Mercury's in Sagittarius, um, I know that that person is going to learn differently, but I just don't view it as a heinous problem or a problem that you should be intimidated by. Now, when something is in its own domicile, like Mercury's in Gemini or Mercury's in Virgo, I know it's very high functioning and it's just so comfortable. It's like being in the best bed with the best sheets, with the best fluffy down pillows with your cat and your stuffed animal. It's just so comfortable, right? So you have to work a little harder when the sign is uncomfortable. You just have to work a little bit harder. It's like learning. Okay, here's an example. Like, you know how all the cars are automatic now. It's hard to find even a stick shift car. I love a stick shift car because I feel one with the car. It keeps me focused. It keeps me awake. I'm not just, on what's it called? Like the coast. What's that called? Like the autumn, like the coast mode where you don't even have to press the gas pedal. I'll fall asleep if I do that. I like to drive a vehicle, and I actually have an alter ego where I raced cars. Can you believe that? And I went to Cadillac racing school. Anyways, when you have something in its fall, it's like driving a stick shift. Is that harder? Yes, it's harder, but it keeps you really awake in life, right? Like you cannot drink coffee, watch a video, drive, eat a sandwich. You have to be awake. Wanda, the Virgo masterclass is going to be on Sunday, right after my video, like at around 10:30 or 11 a.m. on July 20th. And you can go to shopsoulnavigation.com and you can get your free ticket if you're a superstar super supporter. And you can get a $5 ticket if you're a superstar, and you can get a $19 ticket if you are not a member. Today has been so healing. I want to thank everyone again for the love. And I learned so much from your teaching today. Thank you so much, Meredith, and to this beautiful community. Yes, we all wrapped our arms around Angel Jess Tarot, channeled messages and tarot, and subscribe to her channel and show her some love. Autopilot. Autopilot. Yeah. Oh, cruise control. Inspired by Anna. I love you, darling. Yes, cruise control. Cruise control. Well, I love you guys all. I think I'm going to go make myself breakfast. Maybe I'm making myself brunch. But I just want to tell you that I absolutely love and adore being with you. I look forward to seeing you guys on my calendar, whether it is on my personal reading calendar or in Nice or next year in Seattle in May. Plan for that if you need to plan ahead and you want to stay like in the States. You don't want to travel to Nice. I don't know why you wouldn't, but we're going to be safe. We're going to be together. We're going to be in this beautiful part of town together. And then if not there, then again on my next live, I'm going to try to do these more. And if you want to be on the list to get your chart possibly read, I can't guarantee you, but send it to Lydia at teamsoulnavigation@gmail.com. So it's team soul navigation, all one word, at gmail.com, and write to Lydia and just say, can you put me on the list for cold readings for Meredith's next live? I'm a member, I'm a superstar, super supporter, or I'm a super supporter. You have to be a member to get your chart read, just because it's my way of being able to say thank you. And I just absolutely love and adore you. And if I don't see you for any of that, I hope I see you in my Athena Academy of Astrology, maybe December 31st, trying to pick my launch date, but it's going to be right at the end of the year, at the beginning of the year, because I want it to kickstart your whole year. And let's stay safe out there. Let's love our neighbors. Let's live out the, Jupiter in Cancer. Let's live out the Cancerian part and be fiercely protective of those who need it, of those strangers that need our extra love and support and empathy and compassion. And I love you guys. Yeah, let's go make our omelets. Oh, I love my UKers. Maybe I'll see you in Nice. France is not that far. Have a lovely Sunday. Thank you. Yes, I'll see you at the masterclass. Okay, bye, you guys.